Bring it up. All the way.
Dad, you can't keep spending money on junk.
I can break it down, strip it for parts. This stuff is what's going to put you through college. Something in here needs to make this family some money.
Well, it's a little late, but shit. You know what? I still deliver. I'm going to be talking about Transformers! Age of Extinction. Ugh, I was going to say Age of Distinction. Anyways, I'm Brennan here with the Movie Thing Podcast review. Yeah, you might see a few more of these where I'm just on the mic by myself because it's such a pain in the ass trying to get everyone together to record and all. Yeah, so without further ado, let me talk about some Transformers, robots in disguise. Or, as in this movie, robots being hunted down. The premise of this movie is very simple. Basically, you get the Marky Mark's kid and him, who are just, we're struggling, I'm an inventor, which I first called bullshit on that. There's no one who is all buff and masculine like Mark Wahlberg who's gonna be, what do you do for a living? Oh, you invent things? Like, no, dude, you go work at, you are way more convincing in your Pain and Gain role than you were as some smart inventor. I'm like, yeah, an inventor who spends most of his time, just working out, apparently. So yeah, that was kind of one of my things I noticed. Like, it was just like, I understand you got Mark Wahlberg, and he's a good guy, great actor, but just, really, just inventor, you couldn't think of like, oh, he's a mechanic, which would make just a little bit more sense. But whatever. Yeah, basically the Autobots are being hunted down for, without, I won't get into any specific reasons why. It's just, they're being hunted down, they're being killed off, and, they find Optimus Prime, who's been hiding out in some junker mobile that he decided to look at. And, yeah, the story moves on from there, where they run into a bunch of shenanigans and yada, yada, yada. I know, I do a really great job doing the premise. It's just like, no one cares about the story. I don't even have to mention the fucking story. Because who is going to Transformers being like, you know what, I really dig the story of Transformers. I love the story. Oh my god, the characters, the enriched plot, the twist, the fucking twist. No, everyone just kind of sits there and says, like, no, if anyone who actually likes these movies likes them for one reason. And Michael Bay knows this. Officially now, because this is about a 2.5 hour movie, and a little lengthy for a Transformers movie, but I have to say, about a good hour of this movie is just robots kicking the shit out of each other, and it's beautiful. It's just them just going, we're just gonna punch each other, and it looks amazing, and it's loud, and just, explosions, and I know I sound like a 12-year-old kid doing a review of this, like, there was, and an Optimus Prime was like, yeah, that's kind of how it is. It really is like that, and you know what? The younger Brandon and me, the young one, he loves this. He loves the ever-living shit out of this. He's just like, yeah, go, give me some. And it was the same reason why I love Pacific Rim so much, where I was just like, yes, giant robots versus giant monsters. This one is like, giant robots versus giant robots, and they make it cool. They make the fight scenes amazing. They actually have one thing that was a big problem, I had a big problem with the previous Transformer movie, all of them, was besides Optimus and Bumblebee, the rest of the Autobots were really throwaway characters. They literally couldn't do a fucking thing. Especially in the first two movies, they were just there just to get shot at. They didn't even fight a Decepticon. They just got their ass kicked by a Decepticon. These new ones have personalities. They're not just, granted, one of them is a very stereotypical, Japanese robot, which, for whatever reason, they explain why they all know how to speak English and why some of them have different accents and like that in the first movie. But this robot actually decided to change into a samurai and start to, sensei and all that. So unless he only learned his really broken English from watching Japanese samurai films, there's no reason why he should be acting like this. Or you think the others would be like, hey, maybe you should start, acting a little different. Whatever. I mean, he wasn't a bad character. Actually, out of all of them, he gets the least amount of screen time, which is funny. So, yeah. The Autobots are actually memorable. They actually, they actually got John Goodman. John fucking Goodman to do a voice. You know, he was the, I'm trying to remember how to, I don't remember, he was the big robot. He was the big robot, the big fat one with a beard. You'll see him in the movie if you see it. Yeah. John Goodman played a robot, and then you go, you know, they got Stanley Tucci in this movie. He was the, you know, basically the Steve Jobs of this universe. Kelsey Grammer, or as better known as Frasier. Yeah, that dude was in it, and he is kind of a badass. I kind of like his character. Marky Mark's in it, of course. The people who were really shitty acting-wise, though, was Nicole Pletz, who plays, you know, she's Mark Wahlberg's daughter in this. She's horrible. Like, she is just, you know, she's not hot. You know, she's not like, well, Megan Fox couldn't act her way out of a box either, but she was actually attractive. Well, Nicole Pletz, you know, I'm not saying I'm above it and be like, I wouldn't sleep with her with a 10-foot pole. Like, she's like some troll underneath a cave. No. I'm just saying, you know, they could have grabbed a much hotter chick. I mean, yeah, and you know what I appreciate, though? Michael Bay, like, kind of step back to camera boner, doesn't get up on her so much. They actually constantly make jokes about how she's dressed. Because, you know, Mark Wahlberg is supposed to play that overprotective father, and he's, you know, he does that fairly well. It's way better than Shia LaBeouf, an awkward teenage guy, even though he's in his 20s, he's still acting like, I don't know what to do, and somehow keeps nailing these really hot chicks, even though he can't, you know, talk to literally anybody. So, yeah. And then they also had this guy, I've never seen him before, Jack Reiner. I'm trying to think of where I've seen Jack Reiner, and he has kind of that familiar face, but I don't recognize him from any movies as of late. The recent movie for people who might recognize him would be Delivery Man. Probably played one of Vince Vaughn's sons. Doesn't really have the greatest acting range behind him, but yeah, they try to say apparently it was really awkward with his character because they're like, oh, hey, you know, Mark Wahlberg keeps calling him Lucky Charms because apparently he's supposed to have an Irish accent. I didn't really catch that too much. And, you know, I'm not saying he had to be like the sing-song, oh, he's from Irish, you know, he has to, you know, he has to talk like that. No. But he did sound quite American, for the most part. He actually sounded like he was an actor who kept messing up with his acting, and he kept, like, oh shit, his accent came out again, you know? Yeah, but otherwise, the human characters are way more likable. They're less stupid and idiotic. They had the most idiotic character, and he gets, you know, he's not in it very well. Let's just put it that way. He's not in it for a very long time. That is nice. They don't have any, there's no humping robots, there's no peeing robots, there's not so much of the toilet humor that we come to expect from these Transformers films, and that is such an upgrade for me. And I have to ask one thing now. What's with the hate, people? I've been seeing a lot of hate towards this movie, and, you know, I have to make my point right here is, it came from a children's cartoon that was merely there just to sell toys. So if you people are giving like, oh, it's a stupid plot, go back and watch those 80s cartoons. Those are fucking ridiculously stupid plots. So honestly, I feel like Michael Bay is sticking pretty fucking close to the source material of making something stupid that, you know, just has talking robots that everyone, you know, people can enjoy. I understand some people have some nostalgia for the old shit and they're like, it's not the same. You know what, it's probably about as close as it's gonna get, because it's fucking stupid. The original shit is fucking stupid. Am I saying they can't make good stories out of it? No, I'm not saying that at all. Actually, I think those games that came out, the War of Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, those games, they actually have a pretty damn good and, really compelling story. So I'm not saying that you can't make a good one out of it. I'm just saying people bitching that there's not a good one, just shut up. All you people, you know, I hate to say, you people are just so Michael Bay hating with this. Like, Michael Bay, man, it must be shit. Shut the fuck up, okay? Michael Bay has, you know, he's good with people. I understand a lot of film buffs aren't his biggest fan. I kind of like his movies for stupid action films. They're popcorn movies, motherfuckers. They're not there to make you cry or feel anything. They're there to make you go, oh, that was cool. That was pretty cool, too. That is it. So stop the bitching, especially, and if you're one of those people, I have to say real fucking quick, if you're one of those people that never even seen the movie and you're just like, I'm not gonna see this movie, fuck Michael Bay, go to hell, alright? Seriously, give a movie a shot before you just damned it to hell to put it in your fuck you books. And also saying it's the worst movie ever seen. Go watch some more movies because you're not a true movie buff if that's the worst movie you've ever seen. I'm not trying to praise this movie, and I understand you guys forced me to defend this. I don't want to have to defend the Michael Bay movies. I want to be able to be in the same boat as you guys, like, yeah, that was a pretty stupid movie, but it has its merits of fun. It really does, and that's how I felt with it. It was a fun movie. It's fun. Not, like, good or amazing. It's just a stupid, fun movie. Yet, it's fun to watch. It gave me vertigo with one scene, which was amazing. I rarely ever get that with a movie, but seeing how they had to go across these fucking wires and shit, I'm just like, shit, son, I would just be I'd be backing up like a motherfucker right there. Yeah. Just seriously, do not listen to if you're one of those people, you haven't seen it yet, you've been hearing all this hate, go see it for yourself. You might actually, get something out of it. You might be like, oh, well, that really wasn't that terrible. You people have blown this way out of proportion. So yeah, and then the screenwriter, he was Ethan Cougar. I probably pronounced his name all up to shit. He's he's written Transformers 2, 3, and this one he's set up for 5. So he's been writing Transformers for some time now. For people who are also curious, he also wrote The Ring and Skeleton King and The Brothers Grimm. So yeah, he's gotten some, he doesn't really have like he has a really deep, writing background to him, but yeah, he's at least been with the characters long enough not to fuck them up too much. And you know what I have to say that I'm really happy about is that they didn't have another thing where humanity was well, I guess they did actually, never mind. They did stick with the same premise plot that they love to, humanity's hiding something and the Autobots had to. Basically, honestly, if they would have just kept up with the beginning plot of the story, of the Autobots being hunted down by humans, and maybe having a couple of Decepticons or whatever the hell that thing was, helping them out, that would have been fun. They make some plot choices in this movie, I'm not gonna lie, that even made me go like, oh guys, just create a new villain. Just create something new and different. I mean, you're already pissed off the fans, and the only people that are going to see it are the people who don't give a fuck and just want to see giant robots fight. So, go nuts, Michael Bay. I'm one of I don't give a fuck about Transformers as a franchise or as a whole, so I don't care. I want to see giant robots fight, and that's what I get. So if you're with me, excellent. So I'm gonna give 2 different ratings. For the people who aren't judgy little pissant motherfuckers, who, I don't understand, I know, I'm a little, peeved about that, but for people who are just normal moviegoers and you're like, yeah, and I want to see something cool, a cool action movie that's gonna be just action, action, action all the way through. You don't want to, I don't even have to pay a fucking attention to the plot, and believe me, people, I felt like I should have had an Xbox controller in my hands a couple of times, being that I was just like, the scenes where there was talking just felt like cutscenes to get you to the next action scene. It did feel like that. But, anyways, for people who want to see that, go to a matinee, get it for a cheaper price, and just get yourself a big tub of popcorn, load it with butter. This is your sinful day. You're just going to be like, fuck yeah. I'm going to give that a 3 out of 5. See a matinee. For all you people out there who maybe are Transformers fans and you hate Michael Bay or any of that, I'm not even gonna, you don't get a rating. All I can say is, why the fuck would you go see this? Honestly, if you're already gonna prejudge this movie or plan on walking out or whatever, just to say like, yeah, I walked out of that, don't even see it. Save your money, because you're not hurting him at all. You're still paying to see his fucking movie, guys. So, I mean, if you pay to see it and say, oh, it's stupid, I didn't like it, he doesn't care. You already gave him your money. And you could berate it on the internet all you want. He still has your money. So, if you really hate that movie so much, don't see it, but also don't judge it. So it is kind of a double-edged sword there. You can't judge it, but you also can't see it. So, yeah, that is it, everybody. This was a rather ranty review. 3 out of 5. It's not a bad movie. It really isn't. It does, I mean, it's worth seeing in the theaters because it's really something to see. So, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm not trying to, it's not a terrible movie, so, yeah. Put your comments below. Tell me what you think of the movie. Whether you agree or disagree with me, I'd love to know. Yeah, until then, my next movie that I'll be talking about will be, Delivers from Evil and all that fun shit. So, we'll see how that goes. Anyways, everyone, roll out! Oh, fuck it, whatever. I'm out.